Good morning, guys. K-Dot357 coming to you here from our store in Sanford at 1606 Westover Drive, Sanford, North Carolina, 27330. I'm going to talk to you about a few things today. First, I want to talk to you about the Glock. I've already got this gun pretty much field stripped, the barrel and the recoil spring magazines over there on the counter. I have the slide and I have the frame, okay? So a lot of people will say that, we get it all the time, and I explain to them actually how safe they are. That Glocks are not safe guns to carry. 65% of law enforcement agencies still carry Glocks. The rest of them pretty much are made up of SIGs and M&P Smith & Wessons. So let me just point it out. Glock actually has 3 safeties. They call them Safe Action Pistols, and they do that for a reason. There's 3 safeties, and I know what it is. Folks are used to seeing this mechanical safety, if you will, on the side of the gun, and they don't see that. They think, well, there's no safety on the gun. Well, there actually is. Not on the side, of course, as you're thinking. But there's actually 3 safeties, one of them being a trigger safety. Okay, so if you will, and you should be able to see this, you have basically what I call the little baby trigger within the trigger. Okay, so I've set the trigger. All right, if I put my finger in there simulating that I'm actually getting my finger in the trigger guard or worse on the trigger, and if I don't depress that trigger safety, the gun's not going to go off, okay? It's not going to go off. I have to put my finger and I'll do it from the other side so you can see it better. I have to put my finger all the way in the trigger guard and on this trigger safety. When I depress it, then as you can see, the trigger bar moves and allows the gun to fire. It allows the gun to fire. I'll reset it, do it again, depress. And you know, there's a lot of other guns out there too that have these trigger safeties. I can't tell you right now if Glock was the first that introduced this. I'm going to take a wild guess and say that they were. But do not press the trigger safety. Trigger bar doesn't move and it doesn't engage and allow the gun to fire. Press the trigger safety. The trigger bar moves, allows the gun to fire, okay? So that is the trigger safety. I'm going to reset that on the gun. Then we have the slide, all right? So we have the slide. So we have another thing that's called the firing pin safety block. Firing pin safety bushing there. If you see that, okay, and I know it's going to be really tough to see the actual firing pin, but if I press this, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this. Let me see if I can do it with my finger. All right, you probably could hear it. I mean, there it is right there. The firing pin just dropped. Okay, I reset it. Let's see if you can see it there. Maybe you can see it. There you go. There you go. See it right there? There's the firing pin. I'm going to reset it. So the point is the gun has to be fired. The gun has to be fired, which on the trigger bar here, it will engage this bushing here and disconnect that and allow the firing pin to go forward and, of course, strike the bullet and fire the gun. All right, so you have your trigger safety, and then you have your firing pin safety block, and then also the last thing is your drop safety. In the event that you drop the gun, same thing, will not go off. In other words, the only way the gun is going to fire is you've got to manipulate this trigger. Here, let me show you on the frame. Here's your firing pin safety block right there. There's your firing pin safety block. So when the trigger is engaged, when this trigger is engaged, it moves the trigger bar, which also moves this lug right here over the firing pins drops, not the firing pin drop safety, the drop safety moves over that and once again allows the gun to fire. So you've got 3 safeties, and I could go into a little bit more detail on the trigger safety, on the firing pin safety block, and on the drop safety, but I want to tell you there's not just one, but there's 3 safeties on the Glock. Trigger safety, the firing pin safety plunger there, or block, and then also the drop safety. In the event that you drop the gun's not going to go off. So the bottom line, plain and simple, is this trigger has to be manipulated for the gun to fire. Period. It's not going to fire It's not got a mind of its own. It's not going to fire without engaging that trigger safety there. So I engage it, the gun fires, it moves the trigger trigger bar there, and of course allows the gun to be fired. So Glock Safe Action Pistols, 3 safeties. And like I said, there's other guns out there that have those safeties as well. I can think of several of them. So it's not just Glock, but I'm not so sure that they didn't start that with the safe. That's where the Safe Action Pistol comes from. And a lot of people are just misinformed when they say Glocks are not safe. They are safe. I don't really care much about a trigger mechanism where I have to actually manipulate a trigger safety. I'm all about eliminating steps. In other words, when I come out of the holster, obviously finger's going to be right there, but you know, I want to be ready to go to work right then and there. I don't want to have to train myself, which you could, but I don't want to have to train myself to remember to also take the safety off the gun. That is an extra step that's not needed. Now, if you're new to guns, I completely understand how you probably want one of those one of the safeties on there, the safety mechanism to where you flip it on safe, off safe, and so forth. That's fine. But I would also encourage you at some point to get where you don't use it. In other words, you have faith that if the gun's dropped, it's not going to go off. If you don't press the trigger, the gun's not going to go off. Okay? You have faith in your equipment, and you also understand how it works. This, by the way, just happened to be the Glock 36 that we have for sale in here, chambered in 45 ACP. But the cool thing about the Glocks, they're not the prettiest guns out there, but they're essentially all the same. If you've seen one Glock, you've seen them all. They all break down the same, so they're very easy guns to get around and deal with. So today is Friday. It's going to be a hot one out there today. We've gotten a lot more new product in. We've got a lot of new red dots and things like that in, and some other stuff. I've got I'm hoping it's going to be here today. I've got a Ruger SP101 used. Extremely nice condition. Of course, you know that's chambered in 357 Magnum. It will also fire the 38 Special. And I got a couple other guns. I've got a Ruger P95 DC in 9mm used. Extremely good condition. We've got that at $349. And a few other things. But anyway, come on by and see us. Don't forget for a chance to win that Smith & Wesson revolver that we're going to give away the 1st of July. And what else? Oh yeah, our deal for 3 days, and we've still got them. The Glock 36, the Glock 21, and the Glock 35. That's the long slide chambered in 40 Smith & Wesson. So come on by and see us. We're located at 1606 Westover Drive, Sanford, NC 27330. Don't forget, we've still got seats available in our concealed carry class tomorrow. Just $49. It's not too late to register on the website, or you can come out of the store and we'll register you. And it's not too late to register for our AR-15, our basic AR-15 class that we're also going to hold tomorrow as well. We'll all be meeting here at the store at 7:30 tomorrow morning, and we'll proceed from the store to the range, the alternate range that we now are using in Moore County, in addition to the range that we're using in Chatham County. So, till I see you next time, I may try to get another video on here today before we close. Remember, we're open until 6 o'clock today, and we open an hour early tomorrow at 9, but we close an hour early at 5. See you next time soon. Stay armed, stay safe.